and the Smarter Ape Theory. Huge Sasquatch Observing Research Camp in Alabama, March 16, 2012, by Adam Bassett of Creepy Mountain Research, Alex Tomas, also Alex Midnight Walker, anonymous researcher Bullywugger. The filmer is Paul Halsey, using a FLIR Pathfinder. Here's the backstory. A four-man team is in the middle of a 10,000-acre private land near Birmingham, Alabama. Paul Halsey arrives at 8 p.m. on Friday, while the other researchers are listening closely to subtle movements of a large mammal around their camp with power ears or bionic ears. Paul pulls a remote FLIR from an ammo box while talking around the campfire. The action of powering up the 10-inch screen and looking around causes movement in the forest. Alex plays guitar and sings around a very small fire. It's been raining that night. Not searching the woods, but listening with their ears. About 1 hour later, the four prepare for a hike down the mountain to a stream lake. They are hoping to film a camp inspection by the Sasquatch while on their walk. Paul walks alone to his vehicle to mount the FLIR on the side view mirror of his truck to film the camp. Before mounting the cam, he pans the camp and a little beyond, and he sees a man-shaped object in the tree line. It's emitting heat. Estimated height is near 10 feet tall, which corresponds to the size of the animal in the sighting record. There was a sighting 1 week prior to the filming in this exact location. The thermal image is much lighter than men who would be standing around the fire due to the rain that was that night. This confirms on observing from a strategic position and a human shape thermal image far exceeding the human range. Now this takes place about 1 hour from Birmingham, plus or minus, and the action happens just off the clearing here, and there's a tree right in the middle here, which is to the right of it is a pine tree. That can also be seen in the thermal image here as well. There's two trees to the right, they're fairly large, and there's a tree to the left, and there's this pine tree. That's where the action happens. He pulls out his camera and he films the camp, turns left, and he sees this, and he asks himself, he's like, what is that? And he shouts over to the other guys. He says, hey, where you all at? And then he kind of flares back over to see where they are. But even before he says that, now they look back, oh, we're over here. And now it's disappeared back into the thing. Now here's the approximate height. This is Paul Halsey doing a recreation filmed by Adam Bassett and Mark Green. And he walks down, and they're finding the approximate location. And they're walking down, and you'll see just he's a little bit to the right, because if he goes into the left, you won't be able to, he's behind that pine tree. But you can see there he's 6 feet, and you can see the pine is from to the left and to the right. Now if you look at it here, there's the same pine there, and that's the approximate height of Adam. Now we'll do D-shaker on this, and we'll lighten it up a little bit, so you just can get a basic idea of what happens. He's like this, and you can kind of see the long left arm, and it's behind the tree, and then it slowly moves back, and it's basically gone by the time he goes this way, and he moves back, and it's gone back a little bit, and there's a little bit of movement on the left of the thing. The next night, Adam and Mark record a voice saying, more, moi. It's similar to Sierra sounds. They were listening with at least two Sasquatch on a hill above them, and they were communicating with little different things. It's recorded with bionic ears.
Moin. Moin.
Right there, just see movement right through there.
So why does it inspect the camp? Why is it watching? Well, Sasquatch live in single-family groups with the adult male securing the territory. Sasquatch claim territory on the strength of that individual male. They must learn and know their territory, constantly assessing opportunities and threats, knowing where the most strategic area is, for example. Sasquatch hide all the time, even at night. That's their strength. It's possibly to hide from other Sasquatch, but this behavior is repeatable, and we can see it in the video record. Of course, the best example we believe is the woodpile thermal, where you see a Sasquatch has brought itself right up into a woodpile and is looking at a few subjects within 25 feet. You can see the large eyes, and we know that those eyes are about 4.5 inches apart. They're much bigger than a human. And you see the hand, and it's filmed actually twice. And it's holding the board, and you can actually see the thumbs and the fingers, and we can measure how big it is. The same thing is also seen in the 3 clips, number 8, Miaka. And here, it's a Sasquatch during the day, watches, and it just makes a quick peek. There it is, peek, and that's all it needed. It needed to figure out what it was, and then leaves, up, off, and it creates the maximum distance from the threat. Number 15, Minnesota Stillwater is another example of this. There it is, it's watching, and as the farmer comes up, it just moves and goes through there. And this is a great film because you actually can see the perfect profile, and you see that beautiful auburn hair. There you see the backward slope of the face, you see the brow ridge, and the head going straight back into that coned head. You also see it in the number 40 Texas Starlight, where it's off to the side, and the eye is watching, and you can see the coned head, and it's kind of come up a hill, so it has the lowest possible profile. It's not behind a tree, but it's actually on all fours. And there you see it again. You see the shoulder, you see the coned head, you see the eye. Contrast this with the Patterson-Gimlin film. Now here you get to see what a Sasquatch is, but it's putting the maximum distance between it and the Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. It's the same thing. It's making the strategic decision to move away. You see the arms, the shoulders, you see the heavy brow ridge, you see the backward slope to the face, you see the shoulders, you see 55% arms. You kind of get to see everything in this thing. You see the hair. But that's not what a Sasquatch is. A Sasquatch is cunning and clever and is always making the strategic decision. In this case, it's come up to figure out what they're doing. Conclusions. There are 2 types of intelligence, strategic and social. Sasquatch are strategically much, much smarter than modern humans. And conversely, we're a lot more social. Even in the dark, Sasquatch was able to see and pick up on Paul Halsey's alertness to the Sasquatch's presence. Sasquatch are human-shaped and much larger than modern humans. Here's advice to researchers. Always mount the FLIR cameras to man-made objects, never trees. Okay? Roll up with the FLIRs running and in position. If a Sasquatch is in an active area, it must check out the activity quickly. The sweet spot is a 25-foot shot of a bipedal Sasquatch inspecting a camp. The camp should be no farther than 5 or 10 feet from a tree.